I don't know about you, but I just feel like sometimes I'm the only one that really thinks very, very deeply about things, about why things are the way they are, why I am the way I am. And then just I reflect very deeply on things in my life, current, past, and all that. It's not like I'm ruminating on things in the past, although I do that a few times every now and then. It was more like what influenced my decision in this moment? And like, what did I do wrong? What if I made a better decision? Like, where would my life be? And I like to sort of go down these hypotheticals a lot where I will look back on times in my life where I've seriously fucked up. And maybe I had a lapse of judgment because I got super emotional. I lost my temper a few times. And then like, maybe I crashed out. And then if I hadn't been like such a bitch, where would my life be? Or how would my life have played out differently? You know what I mean? Because I've definitely had those moments where I've behaved very arrogantly because I thought that I was like hot shit or something and that I had made it in life. And you know what? Everyone who doubted me, they can all suck it and look at me now. And then several months later, I would be humbled in the most brutal way possible. And I'd just be like, oh, okay. I see the lesson to be learned. I don't know if I don't really talk to that many people who think so deeply as me. And I feel like the reason is a lot of people are just working all the damn time. So when you're working 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then you got to commute like an hour and a half each way to and from work, maybe not each way, like both ways, then essentially you're working like 60, 70 hours a week. And then the little free time that you have, you just spend it binge eating, watching a show, scrolling on your phone. Then before you know it, it's time to go to sleep so you could do it all over again. And then, on weekends, people will go out to the bar or the club and meet up with their friends and do things. So it's like, I understand that there's just not too much time to spend with yourself and your own thoughts if that's the case. And then there will be people who will kind of say that I'm privileged in a way where I have all of this time that I can spend with myself and really just with this dog too, and think about things, just reflect on things, reflect on what it is to be learned, and also just trying to make sense of this absurd existence that we have here on this planet. And that's another thing. There isn't really a lot of silent time that people spend these days because you go outside and you see that everybody is constantly on their phone or they got AirPods in and they're listening to music or listening to some podcast. And it's like we've become so addicted to the idea of optimizing our time and maximum productivity that we just feel like any time that isn't spent learning something or making progress towards some goal is just wasted time. And so whenever we're driving somewhere, we put on a podcast to listen to so we don't have to sit bored in traffic. And I do that every now and then. So I'm not trying to say I'm superior to anybody, but I also try to leave some time where it's just me and my own thoughts. And that in and of itself is kind of a meditative experience. Like sometimes I'll talk to my friends about this, and a lot of the times it will just seem like I'm the only one who really thinks like this. And maybe one or two of my other friends. And I find that even when I talk to my friends about this, the only ones who can really relate are other friends who are single. Like if you're in a relationship, for example, you devote so much of your time and your energy and your mental presence towards making space for this other person. And I'm not trying to talk down on people who do, because obviously that is a very important part of life, figuring out how to work well with a life partner and all that type of stuff. It's not something I have much experience in, but being single, you just have a lot of time to just reflect about things. And so that's what I choose to do. And then so that way, when I do get into some relationship, I feel like I can be more present and more aware of things than most people. Because I know I said I like to be hopeful, but sometimes you'll just see things that make you wonder man, this generation, is there really any hope? Because like I see that a lot of people are waking up to the truth about things, about the government, about economic system, the Federal Reserve and all this type of stuff. But then you'll just see this bread and circuses that people fall for, all of these psyops that are so obvious to anyone who has been paying attention for more than 3 months. Like people will go out and riot on the streets over their favorite sports team losing. But you ask anybody what they know about Gaza, about Palestine, you ask anyone what they know about the Federal Reserve. Like, how many people can give you a definitive answer? Not too many people. I know I'm not the only one that sees things this way. It can get kind of hard to find other people that share this worldview. So that's why sometimes it feels like I am the only one who really thinks about these things and spends a lot of time immersed in thought and reflecting on all these types of things. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. We will see you on the next one.